I kicked every single one of you down off of audio because it needed to happen. Because what you guys were doing right now was nothing but pride, nothing but untrue, feigned love.
So thanks, Dave, and you're welcome to join in on the conversation and address anything that's been brought up. But thanks for being here.
No worries. And just like from the last, good evening, everybody, by the way. I hope you guys are well.
Hey, Dave.
And it seems like nothing seems to change. I just got out of the gym, and the last time, I guess, what was it now, 9 months ago, I think, at least 9 months ago, when we parted from, I guess, our discussions, then I was saying I have to take my daughter to work. And here it is, my daughter's with me once again. It's like, I don't know why it seems that every time it's
And you're
like,
still eating Chipotle, I bet.
actually, let me see. Hold on. No, I have, no. You guys are close, but no, that's closed. And you forgot Del Taco. But no, I have Bumblebee wild caught tuna packets that I eat. I don't, everybody here knows me that my number one food is tacos on the go. But no, it's tuna. I'm a tuna addict. But yeah, I just dropped off my daughter. I'm on my way. I'm en route to go teach a student. And, but here I am. Here I am.
Yeah. So we're calling you out here, right? Let's just be. I know this is there's a lot of candor going on, but let's just be frank of what's happening here. We're calling you out, and we are sick of the passive aggressiveness. We're sick of you singling us out,
Uh-huh.
in the sense that you've actually had conversations around who we are, demeaning us and
Oh,
uh,
really? Okay.
false witness against us, and trying to
Okay.
also, divide us even further from what we're doing with the folks who come to our room and then
Really? Okay.
trickle into your room.
Okay.
You
Okay.
do
Okay.
know that, right? I just want to make it clear that this is our
Mhm.
intent here.
Yeah, whatever your intentions are, I really, whatever way you want to take this, whatever your intentions are, I really have no idea what your intentions are. And if you want to call it a call out, you could call it whatever you want. I don't feel intimidated or called out, and I'm here in love. And you've made a few statements, which I'm going to do my best to try to remember and parse it out and address it. And the first one is, and I can honestly, hold on. Let me see if they're still open here. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, so let me ask you about, first of all, I can have the floor without any interruptions. Am I right or wrong?
Oh, well, let's say you definitely can speak your peace of mind, but it's probably to do one issue at a time, so we don't, so we don't get overwhelmed. So if you could just maybe bring up one point at a time, and then we'll address each one that way, and that way we can have a back and forth discussion. That would be.
Okay, all right. Um, First of all, and I'm going to say this honestly, unless I don't have a good mind of recollection, I don't recall ever really having any altercation or any problem with you, Lewis. We've never had an argument. We've had discussions, but we've never had an altercation. And the only time we did was the last time we spoke. And I think the last time we spoke was when I was sharing with you information about our brother here, Stacy. And I said, if I speak or if we speak, I have concern. And I started talking to you. And I said, this is, as long as this is done in private and privacy, because I don't want it to be considered or looked upon or sound like a gossip. And you agreed that you would not, and that we would do it in privacy. But you just did the opposite and broke the trust, or broke what you said you wouldn't do. And that's how you and I fell out, because then we got Stacy on the phone, and that all went south. So,
Yeah,
but you
that's what.
weren't. But hold on. But you weren't held accountable for the breaking the trust. But I was castigated and yelled at and called a few names, but whatever. So that's how we ended up. But Lou, I never had anything against you. Neither you, Stace, but that went stupid. But with you, Lou, we never had a fight. We never had an altercation. And so I honestly am just kind of baffled as to why this whole over, 9 months that we had that type of fallout. And if there was any issue or problem, you could have always called me. You have my phone number, but you never did. And I just had to be that. So
Well,
go ahead.
let's let Lou, address that. Thanks, Dave. Well, I'll have to mute
Yeah.
your mic so there's no background noise. Okay.
Yeah, no, so I'll agree. We never actually had, an argument in private, but the issue was that, after that entire series of events with Stacy, where you doxed him, and then you put that on my lap. I told you several times that you needed to contend with him on what you thought was a problem, and you ignored that. And I told you I cannot, in good faith, actually continue to, keep, what I have going on. I said, you can't do this to me and tell me, things that are extremely private, and then expect me to just kind of like, do nothing with it. Because here's the issue. When I, and now I feel like this is getting into the realm of like where we should have a private channel, just you and I, but I don't necessarily know that that's even a thing at this point, because there's been a lot of passive aggressive.
I would be good with that. I would be good with that, but there's no passive aggressiveness here. But
Okay. Okay. All right. So we'll just we'll shelf that part about the passive aggressiveness here. The issue is that you threw a bomb in my lap, and if it was going to be a conversation where you ended up telling Stacy, where, oh well, he knew what was actually happening, what actually happened, and he knew what the issues were, then I was going to be the one that's going to be looked at as if I'm trying to hold some type of information and look sneaky and like I'm gossiping as well. And so that is a problem. And so you never apologize for that, because you put me in a really bad position. And so the reason why we never talked after that was pretty simple, was that you put me in a place that I didn't ask for, and you never said sorry for it. And you knew I was upset about it. And you knew I had actually asked you. I said, if you've got personal issues to contend with other people, do it directly with them. Stop throwing it on my lap. I don't want to hear that stuff. I didn't have time for gossip. I was really, really busy at that time. And you and I were building a friendship, but most of our friendship was revolving around gossip, around others. I just didn't, nobody wants to make that much room for that. And so my contention was that, what, like, when you're dealing with your brothers and sisters, um there's a place for having discussions about issues that you're having, if you're doing it biblically, meaning if there's a serious problem, and you're trying to bring accountability into the conversation, then yeah, of course we start to talk to other brothers and say, okay, this is something that we need to look at together. That wasn't the case, and we had conversations multiple times, and I was being, basically, offered information that I didn't want, and was having a hard time trying to figure out what to do with it. And ultimately, it came to a head when you were pulling private information from me, and then pulling private information from Stacy, and making it seem as though I was dealing with somebody who was manipulating us, or at least lying to us about his credentials. And I had issues with that, and I even addressed them to you, and you kind of seem to ignore those. And so that's where, that point I said, well, look, I said, now you put me in a pickle. I didn't ask for this. Either you said it straight or I said it straight, and I said it straight. Even if I wouldn't even have felt bad if it was 2 minutes after our conversation, honestly, because you just don't do that to friends, man. You don't gossip and then lay something on their lap, and then pretend like nothing happened afterwards, and then make me look like if I'm the one that broke confidence. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
Breaking confidence would be if you told me, "Hey, man, I'm not even. If you told me something private about your health, and then I went and I shared that with somebody when you asked me not to." That's breaking confidence. You know, doing something like just laying a bomb on my lap and saying, "Here, hang on to this, and hopefully it doesn't blow up." That's not how friends treat friends. That's
Yeah,
why.
Okay,
Lou.
so
So Tom, let me address this quickly, Dave, because you were talking about me to Lou. That's the bottom line. Bottom line, and I think it would behoove us all to get a definition of gossip here, and I'm just going to read from the dictionary, okay, so that we're all on the same page here. Gossip, defined, noun, casual or unconstrained conversation or reports about other.
What was actually happening. Sorry, Medusa, you can just go down for that. Keep, what I have going on. I said, you can't do this to
Let
me.
me address this quickly, Dave, because you were talking about me to Lou. That's the bottom line. Bottom line, and I think it would behoove us all to get a definition of gossip here, and I'm just going to read from the dictionary, okay, so that we're all on the same page here. Gossip, defined, noun, casual or unconstrained conversation or reports about other people, typically involving details that are not confirmed as being true. Also, gossip can be taken as idle talk or rumor, especially about the personal or private affairs of others. The act is also known as dishing or tattling. Okay, so there's some dictionary definitions for us. You
Hi,
fit.
Silver.
Hi, Medusa. Welcome, and you're welcome. And I know you've known all of us up here, Lou and Dave and Adam and I from Periscope days. We've known each other for years, so thank you for being here. I know you may not have known all these juicy details of gossip.
No, I don't. And
Yeah,
I've
it's
actually
good.
come in here and I've read your title at the top, and all I can say is I'm actually disgusted
Yeah,
with this conversation.
yeah.
Should have been done in the back channel for one. Two, Patriots.
Yeah, sorry, Medusa, you can just go down for that after that.
Yeah, because because we understand your disgust, but you don't understand the backdrop, Medusa. We've had this has been dealt with for 9 months in back channels and in conversations, phone calls. What people don't know is how well Dave and I actually did know each other. I mean, we were on the phone. Do you want me to lay it out how many times? At one point I was embarrassed when my wife showed me the phone records. Honestly, it's funny, right? So
no,
she's
no, no.
like,
Hold
"Are
on.
you?"
Let me stop you.
My
Let me
wife said,
tell
"Are you having an affair?" I said,
everybody.
"No."
Listen. Hold on, listen, guys. He honestly, and I'm being genuine and sincere here. Stacy and I literally would be on the phone. I want to say, if it's not, if it's safe to say, I think it's almost. And everybody, please don't gross out. I think it was every day or every other day, but multiple times during the day, because we really, really did share a lot and read the Bible scriptures and study and shared a lot. And we really did. And we got into fits and fights like 3 times, but we always came back together. And he also does a lot of this mule thing, singing on karaoke thing. And he tried getting me into it. And I would say, I don't want to do that. I'm not interested. So we would joke around that stuff because he likes to sing mule karaoke. And I'm a musician. And he says, come on, why not? I said, because I'm too critical. I'll be too critical. You remember that? And so we always talked. I mean, we talked an awful lot. And even my wife, just like he said, his wife. I said, who are you talking to? Oh, it's Stacy. He's a guy. It's a guy.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I've never mentioned Smule. I don't think I have on Clubhouse once.
Oh,
Maybe,
I'm
maybe.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't promote myself from there.
Oh,
I
sorry.
actually don't spend much time there
Oh,
anymore. But
sorry.
yeah, I do have 12,000 followers on Smule though. And but yeah, it's funny. I mean, and I did have some good times with. I think Tammy's in the audience. Good to see you here, sister. And we had some fun times on Smule, and she was trying to convince you as well. But anyway,
Yep.
and we had a lot of hours. We were invested in Discord Bible studies that went on for months. We've known each other for, if we go back to when we first met, it's well over 2 years ago.
Man.
So it was a while ago, but we haven't spoken really in about 9 months, like you say.
Yeah.
And so there might be some dusting of cobwebs with regard to the main issue here that Lou and you and I are talking about. And it had to do with my credentials, since Lou brought them up. You doubted whether that I graduated or attended Stanford based on you looking at the profile, the LinkedIn profile that I made, by the way, that I made
Mhm.
about 15 years ago. And I haven't really paid much attention to it. But all it does, it only has my graduation date, my matriculation date for Stanford. Now, I don't like even mentioning LinkedIn on here because I don't want to be doxxed. I've been doxxed before. It's not a fun experience. It's not that hard to find me, but I've had myself purged from the internet. I was kind of thankful that there's a famous woman that has my name that's on the internet. I'm like, good, she's detracting from the search results, and it's obscuring me more, putting me further down on the Google search results list. But the fact is, Dave, when you never asked me about my credentials directly, you went to Lou, you went to others, and you started talking about whether you believed whether I went to school there or not. Well, you could have also called Stanford University, since you knew my name, you knew my age, you knew when I attended there, you knew all that stuff. It would have been real easy to do what's called a degree check, just like you do in a job interview, and say, hey, did this guy graduate here or not? Boom, end of story, and you would have found that out. You would have confirmed it. Instead, I had to show you my credentials, since you knew my name and showed you my student ID number, showed you my freaking class attendance and my
Okay, slow
grades.
down, slow down,
And
slow
so,
down.
no, look, because you never really publicly made amends with me on this. You didn't.
Okay, well,
And,
I'm here, so I'm just saying slow down. That's all.
okay, all right.
All right.
But anyway, I don't think I've said anything that is inaccurate or untrue here. So, but anyway, that being said, I'm a professional. My livelihood for the last 35 years has relied upon my credentials. Not everybody's career job is connected to their certifications or their degree. Mine is. And so I put it out there also, not as a point of boasting, but as a point of qualification, that people know that they can trust and rely upon me. It's kind of like getting a warranty when you go to buy a car at the dealership. You want it to come with a warranty, and that's the only reason I've ever mentioned those things. That I know what I'm talking about when I'm on the subject of history. I don't know everything. I don't. I'm not an. I don't consider myself an apologist per se, or a theologian par excellence per se. I study those topics as a subset of history. So, and again, I haven't mastered the Greek or the Hebrew or any of these things. I'd love to have been able to do those things, but you can only spend so much time studying on an array of topics. So, but anyway, Dave, I just here's our concern. Oti Ito and others, you got background noise. Oti Ito and others have come to us and said, Dave's has mentioned your name. I'd never mentioned you. I had you blocked because I didn't want any drama. When I finally decided to spend more time on Clubhouse, roughly 2 months ago, I started spending more time in here. I say 2 months ago because it was after I recovered from Corona. So I had a really bad bout with COVID. Once I got past that, I was interacting with Adam, and Adam was encouraging me to come on Clubhouse, that there were some great Christian fellowship groups. It'd be a great opportunity to talk about history and Reformed theology. And I was encouraged by Adam. And then I said, well, is, Dave on there? And he goes, oh, yeah. And he says, I'm having issues, but we're getting along. I said, okay, well, I'm not going to engage with Dave because we've never really reconciled. So I just blocked you from the day one. And I've not talked about you. I've not gossiped about you. I've not brought up anything. But then I found several times where you had mentioned me and talked about our rooms. Wasn't appreciated. And I thought, are you really trying to start trouble? Are you trying to kick the can down the road again? I didn't want to do that with you. I've never considered you anathema. I've never said you weren't a Christian. I've never attacked you publicly, other than the time that you and I had it out with Lou. That was just the three of us. And then I let it go. And you never made a public apology. The one you made to me wasn't taken as sincere. It was like, whatever. You're making a much to do about nothing. No, you're talking about my career. There would be fireable offenses if I didn't have my credentials from my university. I'd be fired at all my jobs. My publications, which I do have, would be impugned and disregarded. Do you understand that? I would be washed up if for 1 minute it was true what you were insinuating. So it wasn't true. I proved to you it wasn't true. And it should have ended, and you should have truly apologized and repented and reconciled and said the gossip's going to stop. And it, in general, did, because we were kind of out of sight, out of mind. But then I'm seeing this stuff crop up again like weeds. And so so it's not just you. This topic isn't directed just against you, Dave. It's an issue that we think is a lowest common denominator amongst a stream or a prevalent thing. Because look, what does the scripture say about gossip? A lot. The scriptures has a lot to say about gossip. But one of the things I appreciate from Proverbs is the statement that says, when there is without wood, a fire goes out, and without gossip, a quarrel dies down. So we hadn't been quarreling because, as far as I was concerned, I took your name out of my mouth. You weren't living rent free in my head. Honestly, I moved on, and it's been peaceful. But then you've had very good friends of mine. We're sharing these good friends like Oti Ito, like Brian, who's not here, like others, Lee, have then been, and Adam as well, have been brought up again. And I'm just, dealing with it as the issues have come up. That's the attempt here. And again, there's dozens of verses, by the way, in scriptures against gossip. I don't think you're going to deny that it's a sin, and that it's highly disruptive to the church and the health and well-being of churches that I've observed over 30 years. It's what frays and destroys fellowship and congregation after congregation. Congregations often don't blow up over theological issues and concerns, although they should. Instead, they blow up over who's doing what to whom, and who's sinning against whom, and who's sleeping with whom. And these are the things that destroy churches: gossip and slander. And so, because fellowship's broken over it, and not even theological concerns. Theological concerns should be our primary concerns, but we have to deal with gossip. Because you know why in this generation? Social media thrives off of it. You get more clicks, you get more attention, you get more views, you get a bigger audience when people are out there talking trash. So it feeds hubris, it feeds pride, all of these things, no matter what the topic is, whether you're talking about someone or attacking them personally, and it's going back and forth, and there's a lot of invective and colorful language, or you're just beating up atheists with a club, and telling them how stupid they are and how they should be believing in Jesus and how they're going to hell, and that's not directed at you, that's directed against Darth. And I'll just say that about him specifically. And so I would take him on, but he's invited to come up in here in this room. I've unblocked him. I normally keep him blocked because I don't find what he has to say worth much. And same thing with critical race theory. Faithful. So Faithful is quite adept at calling out the Black Hebrew Israelites for their salvation by race ideology. But then he lapses into social justice, and as if critical race theory, and as if politics aren't involved in that, when they are. And so we want to snip these things in the bud. I'm not saying that Darth for sure isn't a Christian, but I don't see the evidence of the faith. I know and trust that Faithful is a Christian. I've heard him, I think, labor for the gospel, and I believe you're a Christian. So I'm not anathematizing anyone. I'm not even anathematizing Darth. I'm just saying I'd like him to clarify and demonstrate that he can preach the gospel, that he's qualified as an apologist. I don't think he has met the litmus test for either one of those offices. So this isn't just about piling on you, Dave. But anyway, if you wanted to reconcile, I've always been open to that. You've never shown an interest to me personally in all this time, in 9 months. That's for the record.
Now, may I interject?
That's what
Okay.
my muted
But
mic
Dave,
means. Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Oh, okay. I'm not looking because I'm driving. Okay.
I just want to
Uh,
say before you go on, Dave. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I just want to say my prayer is that you would just simply say I'm sorry for all that I've done, and we can get past these things. We can work towards getting past them. And I'm hoping that you don't build a case as to why these things were justified. I'm just going to say that out there before you respond. And then you
so
know
so 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 Lou, so Lou. So basically, you call me, not you personally. So I'm here to just say I'm guilty, and don't defend, don't build a case. You're controlling of what I should and what I shouldn't say.
I
So
just
it's a
I just
so it's a
found
one sided.
that's not the
So
case.
it's a one sided. So it's a one sided discussion. Now, if that's what you want, then I don't subscribe to that. And again, I am here for reconciliation. I am here to restoration, which is what we should have had. But once again, you're not going to control me in what I should or shouldn't say. I
That's not what I'm saying.
I respectfully disagree with what you are. So far, I'm listening to Stacy, and he's saying it amicably, and I'm accepting what he's saying. But you're coming off like you're going to tell me? No, I don't think so. So you said it's no bars hold, open fist, put the gloves on, but now yet you're trying to control and tell me what to say, what not to say? No, I don't think so.
All right, real quick. Anybody here who wants to just chime in before you go on, Dave? Does anybody here feel like I am trying to control Dave from this at that point, from the comments that I just made? Can somebody just say that I was off base, please?
Well, to be honest, Lou, I thought David was going to respond to us.
That's not the question, John, but thank you. Anybody else can just tell me that I was trying to control Dave by what I said. Okay, I think the silence speaks for itself. Dave, I wasn't trying to say that. I was just simply saying that my heart is that I pray that we can move forward in you seeing the error of your ways, and we just apologize and then work towards reconciliation and then maybe taking it, offline from here. That's all I was simply saying. I'm not trying to control you. You're a grown man. You're clearly doing what you want to do anyways. And so, I'm just simply saying, that's just my prayer momentarily. That's it.
Let me address Stacy. Okay, hey Stace. All right. So, um, to when we parted our discussion, and it was a heated parting, and when I said to you, when you were very upset and you were waving that your credential, and I was saying I gotta go, you kept going. I said I really do gotta go. I said I have to take my daughter to work, and then you were saying repent, you need to repent. And I said, okay. I said, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Can you forgive me?
Okay,
It
well,
wasn't just throwing it like I didn't need it. Wait, let me. Okay, can I? Do you
no, go
mind?
ahead.
You did a long monologue. I just want to respond to some of your things.
Hey,
Okay.
dancing. What happened
So
was you went out for a while. I think that's all
wait.
Stacy was trying to say. You went in and
Let
out.
me respond to you, Stacy. Okay.
Oh no no.
So I said,
What happened dancing is you went in and out. I think that's all Stacy was trying
Yeah,
to say.
Matrix. You're doing
You
Matrix,
went
but
into the
go ahead.
oh,
matrix.
I am okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Forgive me. All right. Sorry. Okay. I said, can you forgive me? I said, I'm sorry. I said, can you forgive me? And you didn't respond. I said, I gotta go. I gotta take my daughter. You kept talking. I said, I'm gonna go. I said, would you please forgive me? I mean it. Forgive me. I mean it when I say forgive me? And you said, there's a price to pay. There's a price to pay. I said, oh, what? You want me to pay you now? And then you said, I want you to call blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't care anymore. I said, I really don't care anymore, but I am sorry. And I said, forgive me. Can you forgive me? I said it numerous times and I meant it from my heart. But of course, and I understand you didn't accept it because you didn't believe it. And I'm not going to argue with that.
When
But
you say you don't care anymore in the context of reconciliation, potentially, it makes the
wait,
other
wait, wait.
person think that you don't really care.
Wait, who's this? Who's
Does that make
talking?
sense?
Who's talking?
This is Joshua. This is Joshua.
Okay, I'm not going to talk to
We've
you,
had our
Joshua, right now.
differences, and
I want to
and
talk
Wait.
to Stacy.
Yeah.
I want to talk to
no, I
Stacy.
mean it's the
Wait, Joshua.
context of
No.
what you're saying. You're
No.
defending your.
Yeah.
Joshua.
Okay,
Wait,
Let
okay.
dancing. Let dancing
Hold on.
go.
Wait
Let
a minute.
dancing
Wait a
he's
minute.
finish.
here.
I won't continue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
he's
Panda. Let dancing continue. Sorry,
I'm not.
sorry.
I'm not
I
going to
saw
Interruption.
you muted.
continue
Dancing.
because I want to amicably. I'm
No,
not going to
dancing. Go
continue.
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, let me speak then. Let me speak. I'm going to amicably, respectfully discuss this with my brother. I'm not going to discuss this with the bunch, if that makes sense. Okay.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
okay, we're here for
Can I
Stacy,
respond? Can I respond now?
but I wasn't finished. But go ahead then.
Thanks. So yeah, again, it was 9 months ago. I'm sure we both have to clear off a few cobwebs in the way that discussion went down, when you were basically insinuating that I was a fraud, a phony, a fake, and a liar, and didn't go to Stanford. All right, and you had said as much to multiple people behind my back. That's called a knife in the back, by the way. By a lot of people consider that, and it was libel and it was slander. Dave, you gotta unmute, you gotta mute yourself, Dave, when you're driving, especially. There's a lot of background noise. So plus that's just what we do when we hear. And by the way, Josh, good to see you in here, brother. And Panda, we've known Josh. Josh has known Dave for 3 years. He comes from another social media platform, so he's new to Clubhouse, but not new to Dave, not new to us. So welcome, Josh. It's our first time to have you back. Wow, you're probably thinking, what in the world? I thought this was a cool platform. It is. This isn't what we deal with every day. This is just something this is just a little bit of housekeeping. But again, there's a lesson to be learned in all of this theologically, I mean, and as well as apologetically. And now we're not just talking about saying sorry, we're talking about for the cause of Christ. So, Dave, when I showed you my credentials, I said, is this good enough for you? Why are you talking so much smack behind my back? What's this about? Why are you attacking me, and why are you undermining my
Can I
credibility?
respond? Can I respond now? Can I respond
Hold on.
now?
No,
You asked the
no,
question.
no. Hold,
You asked the question.
hold on. I didn't finish. Uh, Let me finish first, and then yes. So again, at that time, I was saying, dude, what's this about? Because I wasn't attacking you publicly. I wasn't doing anything like that. And I wasn't backbiting against you. And so when I found you were backbiting, and I was kind of ticked because I'm thinking this is my credibility's on the line, my career. I teach a lot of my classes online, by the way. And I thought, people are going to start wondering, then this is not good. It's not good for for my career, let alone for the cause of the gospel. They think that some charlatan is up here pretending to be something he's not. So that's number one. And then all I asked you, I don't think I kept saying, there's going to be a price to pay. I wasn't threatening you with lawsuits or anything like that, libel and slander, although it was all of that. I was saying to you that you need to publicly apologize, especially to the people that you were calling me a phony to. You needed to correct yourself and for the record publicly, and you didn't express it. In fact, you rolled your eyes to the top of your head when I showed you the degree, and you dismiss it and you just said, whatever, you're making a big deal out of nothing. That was what you said. And then, why are you guys doing this? And then Lou's like, dude, you put me in a bad situation here. It's like, dude, I told you this in confidence. That's not confidence. When you're talking about someone else behind their back, I shared with you the definition of gossip, and you met the criteria of the dictionary definition there.
Okay,
That
stop.
wasn't
Can you
you,
stop? Can
like
you
Lou
stop right?
said.
Hold on. Can
That
you stop
wasn't.
right now really quick? Let me interject real quick briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me address just a couple words with Lou, and then you could continue on your thing if you like. And then let me know because I'm almost at my destination. So Lou, forgive me for putting you if what you said is true about your feeling and uncomfortable and all that stuff. I mean this and I'll say it, and I do mean it. Forgive me for that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you in that position. I did not intentionally, and nor did I have any intention to do this, whatever, what is called gossip. I was trying to talk to you in privacy, and it was a concern, and it was something that I was just asking you. But I'm sorry, and forgive me for doing that to you, because, like I said before, you and I had never had any qualms, and we actually, as far as I was concerned, we were fine. But I hope you can forgive me, and you. I mean, I'm sure we both had opportunities to communicate because we both have our phone numbers, but I'm saying to you directly now, and everybody can listen, since I know you and I, like I said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you in that position. So I'm done with that. So go ahead, Stace.
All right. Well, I appreciate you apologize to Lou for kind of putting him in that uncomfortable position because he was a mutual friend of ours. And it was weird, man. It felt like we were back in high school gossip circles, like it was sorority row or something. Nonsense. This stuff is so petty. I've watched kids in high school behave this way for many years. I was a classroom teacher in California. Showed you that credential too, in case you didn't believe it. But again, I was a classroom teacher for
Well,
many years, and I've
hold
seen
on,
high
Stace.
schoolers.
Stace. Stace, hold on. I'm not
No,
being
I'm
rude,
not. No, I'm not.
honestly. I'm just giving you an update because I just parked
Okay, you got your park, but you need to park the mic for a minute. This is not the way I do moderation in my room. You got to let me talk on the moderator. My room. I'm talking. Please don't cut me off. When it's your time to speak, I'll unmute your mic. Don't tick me off, Dave. All right, this isn't your room. You are a guest. You came into it. Means you have. I thought you came in here with 2 ears to listen, and so I'm trying to speak, and you keep interjecting. When you're driving, you're parking, and you're going to Chipotle, you're going to the gym. Yeah, great stuff. But you know what? You need to listen. Just mute your mic if that's what's going on. If you're multitasking, and you can listen. But because I'm still talking, and yet you're cutting in and you're interjecting. Wait till I land my plane, and then you can launch your plane on the runway. That's how we do it here. Okay, so maybe that's not the way it's done in your room, popcorn style. If you can do that in your room, we don't do that here. All right. So again, let me finish my thought. See, I get old. As I'm getting old, I have to, when my train of thought is broken, I have to go back, and I'm not like it was when I was a teenager, and I can easily pick up where I left off. So I lose my concentration. So again, what I was saying to you was, when you put Lou in that uncomfortable situation, and you divided, you're in effect dividing him against me. You spoke crap about me to others, and you did it publicly, and we saw a pattern of you doing it to other people too. So at the end of the day, gossip is something that men are as guilty of as much as women. I don't know why women are always getting pinned as being gossipers. Gossiping is a problem in the church, and it goes on almost unchecked and unabated to the point to where it's just dumpster fires everywhere in many congregations. And so the best way to deal with it is you warn them 3 times. 3 strikes and you're out. You were given those multiple warnings. And so at that point, I was just done with you. That was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. And so it was a betrayal, had to do with my credentials, had to do with the fact that I was a high school teacher. And what I'm telling you, as a high school teacher, I haven't even seen kids act so petty and attacking one another. Now, when it has to do with my livelihood and the way I make a living, yeah, I had to stand up for myself. I don't even like standing up for myself and stupid stuff like this. But I had to, because it was undermining my credibility as a teacher, number one. Number two, which is more important, then why should people believe anything I have to say about the gospel if I'm some sort of fraud and a phony and didn't graduate Stanford or didn't teach high school or teach university? Once you start lying in those kinds of things, people are going to dismiss you. And so that was my concern, because I didn't want the gospel to be dismissed, or all of the historical based information that I've been providing people with regard to Christianity and the Bible. And so that's what I felt was ultimately under attack, and why I finally decided to speak up. And when you were very dismissive and you rolled your eyes like a teenage kid will often do when you're correcting them in the classroom, they roll their eyes and they go, ah, I don't need to hear this. Okay, then I'll write you a referral. So, and that's in effect what I had to do. I had to put you on notice, write you a referral, and send you out. And as far as I'm concerned, you've been in you've been in detention. And I know you don't like being talked to but like a child, but it's why I'm doing it. Because you've acted like a man child in all of this, Dave. Grown ass men should not be gossiping and attacking one another's credentials and careers. And if you had concerns from the get-go, if you were my friend, you should have just come to me directly and say, dude, what's up with your LinkedIn profile? I've been doing background checks too. What's with all these public filings? I found this when I did my IntelliSearch. I'm not saying that you did all that, but it wouldn't surprise me, because I know you have been doing Google searches on me to get that stuff. You've been doing Google searches on Lou. You've been doing Google searches on others. It's creepy, man. It's just a creeper type of thing to do. It's
I
it's
think
stuff
you're
that,
exaggerating.
no, I'm
You're
not. It's the
exaggerating.
stuff of stalkers, man. Listen, we had this bromance, you want to call it that, like we were joking about it earlier. It's what it felt like. It felt like I had been cable guyed. Honestly, I was like, holy smokes, how do I get rid of the cable guy? Free cable, I'm here, let's do karaoke. And we're on the phone constantly. And I started trying to say to you, hey, my wife thinks we're having an affair. I need to start, I'm looking at our hours. I've actually destroyed one of my cell phones. The battery burned up. It smoked, man. I got to get a new cell phone. And I was kind of joking about those things, but I
Hold
was
on,
serious
hold
too.
on,
Like,
hold on.
no, I'm not holding on. I'm not holding on. This is my room. So again, you totally were cable guying me, and you were cable guying other people, and then you collect phone numbers of dudes. You had my phone number, you had my first and last name, you knew the names of all my kids, you knew the name, you know the name of Lou, and I bet you know his last name and had his phone number and knew the name of all his wife and kids as well. And then I saw a pattern here. How many guys have come to me saying, yeah, I gave Dave my phone number. I'm like, why'd you do that? He asked for it. Whoa. So, dude, you impose yourself. I know you're just seeking out friendship. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's a pattern here. You seek yourself out. You interpose yourself into these people's lives. I invested 6 months of my life with you, like you said, every day on the phone, and it was at the end of the day not to much benefit. And then so here we are 9 months later. And honestly, if you weren't talking about me, and you had never brought up my name or Lou's name or Lee's name in your rooms and in discussions with other brothers on here, we wouldn't be having this discussion. Because I put you out of sight, out of mind. Seriously, you were not living rent free in my head. I don't want to be living rent free in your head. So we can either just agree to disagree and move on, or you could do what you should have done 9 months ago and publicly apologizing for talking crap, which is what you did. And there was no room, there was no reason for it. I can speculate. I could do some psychoanalysis on you, which I'm not going to do, but I could do that and give you the reasons and say, dude, get some help. I'm not going to do that. You need to decide whether you need the help or not. You're right. I'm not going to tell you what to do or try to control you or anything else. But to the extent that this is my room and I'm going to say my piece, you're going to hear that out. Because I'm the one who was attacked here. Okay, you attacked me unwarranted. It was an unwarranted, unfair, unprovoked attack. But I've seen you do it to others. So I didn't think like, okay, I'm not special because you did this to other dear brothers like Lou, like Adam, and Adam can speak for himself. And I know he's reconciled with you on at least 3 instances I can think of where you guys have had falling outs, public falling outs. So, and that's why I say this publicly. So, and I don't want to dig up histrionics between you two, but I'm just saying this as a for the record. There's a pattern. I want it to stop. Take me out of your mind and your discussions and your rooms, and quit the insinuations by the way you title your rooms, because they're as if they're counterattacks to our ministry and what we're doing, as if to throw a Molotov cocktail into our ministry. So knock that off. So you can knock it off, and you can dig your heels in, or I can continue to expose you for all the stuff that I know about you, and we could go that ugly route, or we can go separate ways and forget about one another. That's another choice. And the other one is you just simply give me a heartfelt apology. I'll accept it, and we'll move on, and we'll see if we can't slowly rebuild trust and restart the relationship. I'm open to that too. But I've seen no indication that there was any sincerity from you that you ever wanted that. That's for the record. Anyway, don't sit here and start criticizing me and telling me I was long-winded or anything else, because I'll boot you down right now. Because I'm not gonna take that crap.
Okay, now the room is mine. What just happened on here was pitiful, horrible, terrible, sin-soaked, pride-drenched filth. That's what just happened on here for the past 20 minutes. Horrible, terrible display in front of dozens and dozens of people on a public broadcast. I kicked every single one of you down off of audio because it needed to happen. Because what you guys were doing right now was nothing but pride, nothing but untrue, feigned love. What does scripture say? True love keeps no record of wrong. No record of wrong. And not only are you keeping a tally board of records for wrong, you're making it public. It has been attempted in the past to remedy these things. It has been attempted in private to remedy these things. And it was let go of because it was not possible. Why are we defending ourselves? Why are we defending our credentials? Why are we defending our namesake? It's not about our namesake. It is about the name of Christ. And Christ is not being proclaimed in this room, and he certainly has not been being proclaimed in many of the rooms that have been going on. It's been a bash fest. It's been a click fest.